Where can we augment? Where can we add? What can we do that we don't offer right now? So in a way, we have gone back to our past to jump into the future. And with that,
yeah, why don't we show them this one?
Why don't we do that? Bob, would you mind coming and taking the cover off of this? Vince, would you like to help him?
Sure.
And looking at our product mix, people said, you know, we have plenty of seats, so come on up, have a seat, come sit down. Come sit down. Hey, Robert, Marion, come have a seat. Join the rest of us. Come on, Daniel. Good afternoon, and thank you for being here today. It's a great day. In fact, this is actually a very historic day for Shelby. It is the first time that we've actually had a media event to not only unveil a couple of cars, but to actually show our complete line of vehicles. One of the things that people don't always understand about Shelby is I would challenge you to find any other car maker that had such an unusual group of vehicles they offer, both heritage and contemporary.
Tracks are all much faster than what we have over here, so you have to not learn going through 100-mile-an-hour corners. And the Daytona 200 mile, we ran 197 miles an hour for 24 hours. Fantastic car. Nothing ever happened to it, just one. So, I've had a fantastic time, and I want to thank you for my wife. I love the wing, and that was the best. Now we got married, we met each other when she was auctioning off her life. And holy shit, I can't believe it.
You take a look, you can come to Shelby now, you can buy an old car. You can buy a classic heritage car. But Carol often said that if you live in the past only, then you're history. And so today, we want to also talk about the current production cars that people like to have. And so if you think the good old days were the 60s, I would like to invite you to come to Las Vegas. Where can we augment? Where can we add? What can we do that we don't offer right now? So in a way, we have gone back to our past to jump into the future. And with that, at our product mix, people said, you know, you don't have a modern two-seat convertible. Gary, did we do something like that recently?
Yeah, so if you take a look at this, everybody says, well, that's a lot like that Series 1 you guys do. Well, there is. That is a Series 1 chassis. The Series 1 was the only ground-up sports car we ever did at Shelby American. At the time when Carol was around, and he always wanted to build a ground-up sports car, we did about 250 of those. And then, you know, with crashing regulations and so forth, what do you do next? So Bob Winkard, that just pulled the cover off, he came to us and he said, you know, I'd really like to do one in aluminum.
Today, we're going to unveil another car, another very limited edition car. Vince, would you like to take that off?
All right, well, we'll take a peek at this one.
So in 1967, Carroll told his chief engineer to pull a GT500 at random off the line for transformation into an engineering testing car for a Goodyear tire test. That car was dubbed the Super Snake. had a race-bred 427 engine that was used. In fact, Carroll hit 170 miles an hour in San Angelo going around the track in that car. Then he handed it over to Goodell, who took and set a new record for its class. That car was race-bred, from the stripes to the cooling to the brakes to the engine. Everything was very special about that car. At the end of that test, Carroll offered that car to Melbourne's Ford to actually retail. And a former employee, Don McCain, actually approached Carroll about doing a series of these cars. And they were going to do 50 of them. Well, because it was a race-bred engine, because the 427 was being phased out, they decided at that time it wasn't feasible. There was only one of those cars built, and the last time that it changed hands, a couple of years ago at Mecum Auctions, it went for $1.3 million. I don't think you could buy that car today for 1.3. So Shelby American and Legendary GT have worked together to create a line of these cars. 10 and only 10 of these cars will be built.
But I always like to look under the hood, right? So if you take a peek under the hood, you know, what's old is new. So if you look, you see MSD, you see a lot of aluminum. And back in the 60s, you didn't see a lot of aluminum. But it's a Carroll Shelby Engine Company engine that Bill Investy and his team run. And so it's got all aluminum block, but it's not just any aluminum block. You know, 6-bolt mains on 2, 3, and 4. You know, all the internal components are very majorly upgraded. And I think this one has about 550 horses. So that's a little bit better than the 355s that they typically had in '67, and it's certainly more than the 427s that Super Snake had back in that day too. Why don't we see if this thing will run?
So only 10 of these worldwide, starting with original cars, so they can be exported. Anybody like the sound of that?
Okay guys, that's gonna wrap up this press event at Shelby Gardena.